that locally as well. But I mean, if Mikkel can control that, I think it's better, so I can focus on the presentation and then not to be worrying about other things. So Mikkel, you are recording now? Okay, perfect. So Mikhail will record locally, and afterwards we can share the material for the people who is not able to come today. So I will start to share my screen. Okay. Okay, perfect. So as I said, thank you everybody for being here today. Also, Happy New Year, because probably we didn't see each other since last year. And thank you for being here. I know it's difficult for starting the year, and thank you for taking the time so we can also have and share a little bit on what is going on with the system and share with you the advances and a little bit on how to use it and what we are working on. So today, the idea is that we are going to do a review on the usage of the VITALISE system, the complete system, let's say ecosystem that we are preparing. And the agenda for today is resuming here. So first, we are going to do a review on the elements that that are part of the system. First, starting with the Discovery Portal presentation, here a little bit on the registration and exploring datasets within the system. It is important to know that the Discovery Portal is the central element of the system. So is let's say, the place where most of the interaction with the external users is going to happen. So that's why it's so important, and we focus a lot on this part. Then we are going to present also the Ray notes, specifically the tool for uploading data. This is, let's say, more limited to, let's say, the Living Lab managers or data managers that are going to upload data and to curate in some way those data sets. So it is important, but let's say it's not for all users to interact with this part of the system. Then we have the experiment remote execution. This is within the Discovery Portal, and we are going to talk more in detail about this. And after, we are going to talk about the upgrading the system and future releasing improvements that we are working on. Then the idea is that we are going to have a hands-on session. This means that we are going to go step by step to use the system. And then we are going to have a Q&A session, and also the feedback with the experience that you have during this session. And finally, we are going to talk about the open call for virtual access to dataset users. So to start, before we start, actually, I was going to tell you if it is possible for you to enter to this Excel document and register your participation today. The idea is to do a follow-up to know who was able to also to come, and then if we need to, let's say, communicate specific things about the system, about the releases, then we can contact, let's say, the specific group who is going to follow up on the usage of the system. So, if you can, please go to this document. We are going to repeat, let's say, the location of the document afterwards, because there you can also do the feedback. But right now, it's just to let us know who was attending and to do the follow-up.
Francisco, is it possible to share the link in the chat, please?
Yeah, of course. Sorry. Just let me know if it is, I mean, if it is working correctly. Just be sure.
It works, thanks.
Okay, thank you. So the first part is just to do an overview of the system. Let's say the complete ecosystem of the VITALISE.
Sorry, you can only view the things, but you're not able to edit.
Ah, okay.
Text.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Now I will try to solve this in a minute. I will do the introduction and then afterwards I will check it on this. But thank you for let me know this issue. So regarding the array solution, basically the idea is that there are different infrastructures which are producing different data sets, a lot of data, and some of this data is very valuable for the academic community. So the idea at the end is that you can share this data in a safe manner, and then other researchers can use the data and also extract important information in the context of their research. So in this case, the idea is that there is a research community with different infrastructure having specific data sets. And then the idea is that you can have, let's say, array node in this case. So this is basically, let's put it as specific data set to curate the data sets that you are going to have there. So, sorry, a database for the data sets to be a host there. And in this infrastructure, you can safely put your data sets. And then when these data sets are within your infrastructure, then you can inform the discovery portal. And the discovery portal is going to create a dataset catalog metadata. With this catalog, other researchers can check which type of datasets are there. And with this information, they can, let's say, request samples of these datasets, work locally on a specific algorithm or a processing that they need. And afterwards, they can access, again, the discovery portal, then the host with a specific script or an algorithm to extract information, and then run this script, extract the results, and also register those results. That means that other people can follow up on the results and then access to these results to check in which time they were done, and also at what moment and what were the actual results. So let's say it's a way to be able also to give traceability to the experiment running that you are doing. So basically, that's the idea of the whole ecosystem. As I mentioned at the beginning, there are three elements of the VITALISE ecosystem. The first is the discovery portal. The other elements, which could be several of them, right now we have three, but could be more, are the array nodes. And finally, we have the array central server. I'm not going to go in detail about the array central server because this is in the backend, and this is not going to be interacting directly with the users. So we are going to focus on the central element, which is the discovery portal, where most interaction is going to be happen. And then the array nodes, like I said, this is going to be hosted by specific infrastructures or institutions. And here the datasets are going to be, let's say, safe and curate. Right now we have three hosts, three array nodes, one in out, one in Beacon, and one in UPM. Those are the three that we have available. And today we are going to work specifically with the Beacon one. But afterwards, the idea is that all the functionalities are going to be available for all data for all array nodes. So now we are going to focus on the Discovery portal, and here I'm going to give the word to Vicky. She's in charge of the development of this part of the system, so she's going to present it. And well, Vicky, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. I hope you can hear me well. To those who do not know me, my name is Vicky Fiska. I work as a research associate at CERT at the IT department in Thessaloniki. And as Francisco already mentioned, I am responsible for the design and development of the Discovery Portal platform, which is part of the VITALISE ecosystem. Again, for those who do not know about the Discovery Portal yet, it is a cloud portal responsible to provide metadata to cross-living clubs and researchers in the whole Europe. The data catalogs consist of metadata of anonymized, non-anonymized, data model compliant metadata, and non-data model compliant format metadata. I'm highlighting the term metadata because it is important to understand that the Discovery portal does not have information directly regarding the datasets. It only has access to their metadata. If a user, a researcher, or anyone else that has access to the system needs to have access to the datasets, must request through the portal to the responsible RAIN node in order to secure the dataset information across the VITALISE ecosystem. The Discovery portal provides a user-friendly interfaces to discover information, to identify properties of the available data amongst the VITALISE ecosystem. It also facilitates the communication between researchers and RAIN nodes to make it an easier experience through the VITALISE system. Francisco, we can proceed to the next slide. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you see the next slide? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So in the slide, you see the homepage of the Discovery Portal platform, and we can proceed with displaying a video where we will pause with Francisco and explain step by step, let's say, an interactive manual of how to use and interact with the portal and the VITALISE system in general. So we can also play the video. Please feel free to share your thoughts if you see anything, if you cannot hear me or if you cannot hear something while we are presenting, feel free to ping. Also, you can see down on the left the Discovery Portal webpage URL. While we're waiting Francisco to demonstrate the video. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Francisca. If you can play it also full screen to have a better view, it would be nice. Thank you. So let's start. This is the homepage of the Discovery Portal platform, and we are proceeding with a virtual access registration form. Clicking on top bar on the register button, you can access the registration form where each living lab or organization can register as an organization and register to the system at least up to 5 applicants of the research team. The first applicant must and always is the group leader. Here you see an example of me filling all the mandatory fields in order to proceed with the session. Oh, Francisco, I see black screen. Is it only me or? Okay, it's back to me at least. So this is a demonstration on how to register, let's say, two applicants in the system for the same organization. The application form is in form of a wizard, so each step declares specific information. So you have to submit the organization information, user information like email, password, email, phone, team role, org ID if available. And then you have and must to check all the eligibility criteria. This is again a mandatory step, and you have and must comply to all of them in order to proceed. At this step, you must fill and submit your project description and the reason you want and need to interact with the VITALISE system. Select a number of days that you want to access the data, and again, mark all of the necessary checkboxes. Now, this step is crucial. You have to fill to comply to Francisco, please pause the video for a second for me to explain. You have to fill a password for the whole organization, which means that this password is the same for all the applicants of one organization. And again, you must check all the necessary boxes in order to submit your form. Otherwise, your submission will not be accepted. Now, Francisco, you can proceed with submitting. Sorry, with continuing with the video. And then after you have a successful submission, you can access with your account and your organization's password the discovery page of the system. If you have all filters clear, you can access the whole data metadata catalog, anonymized, non-anonymized, data model compliant, and non-data model compliant datasets, to which we will focus on this webinar today. This is a preview of a current, let's say, non-data model compliant dataset UI page, and you can request from the associated array node directly and download the datasets to your computer or infrastructure. Again, through the system, you can also access metadata information about anonymized and non-anonymized metadata model compliant datasets, and you can request through the again associated array node these datasets or synthetic data and have them available in two different forms, JSON and CSV. It is moving a bit fast, but you have also, if you click up to the right corner to your username, you have access to your user profile and have a record of your history of usage through the system. Another part that will be mentioned again later on this webinar is the experiment around functionality. The Discovery Portal provides a user interface and the experiment template files for each one of you to download, use, interact, and post an experiment to an associated array node within the VITALISE system. When your experiment is ready, your user profile will be updated with the results if also the experiment was successful or not, and the option to register to the array cloud of the VITALISE system. There is also a dashboard available only for administration usage, which records the activity and all events across the VITALISE system to have a better understanding of the usage of the system and the metrics necessary. Also, these data are available to download to many different file forms. And this is pretty much an, let's say, interactive presentation of the system, but we will have the opportunity later on the hands-on session to interact all together and collect your feedback. You know, co-creation is part of the VITALISE, let's say, mantra. So please feel free to share openly your thoughts and help us improve and make this platform and system even better for everyone. Thank you, Francisco. So I can give the floor back to you to proceed with presenting the rest of the VITALISE system. Francisco, can you hear us? I don't think we can hear you yet.
No, we cannot hear Francisco.
Francisco, yes, we cannot hear you at the moment.
Yeah, try now.
No?
Yes.
But-
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. So, well, now the second element that we are going to introduce is the part of the array nodes. As we mentioned before, array nodes could be several ones. Right now we have 3 available. In here, let's say the array node is local infrastructure and where the datasets are going to be saved and curated by the host. These array nodes are going to communicate with the Discovery portal to report on new datasets, so the Discovery portal can populate a catalog with the available metadata for each of the array nodes. They need to have also user-friendly interfaces and tools. In this case, specifically for registering and uploading datasets to the VITALISE ecosystem. And the idea is that also, let's say, the array nodes are going to facilitate the remote execution and registration of experiments by researchers through the Discovery portal. So experiments are going to go, let's say, through the Discovery portal, are going to access the specific dataset within the array node. And then when results are ready, the array node is going to inform the Discovery portal and you can access those results. That's basically, let's say, the logic behind this. So, I'm sorry. So, I think we are going also to present a video regarding the regarding how to upload data within one of these array nodes. So first, you access the tool within the array node. In this case, specifically the Beacon array node. Then there is general credentials that you need for accessing the tool. Afterwards, I'm going to give those credentials to you, and then you can access the tool. It is necessary also to log in with your specific user. This user is the one that you register at the Discovery portal first. So that's why it's important to first register to the Discovery portal, and afterwards you can use the whole system, including this tool within the array nodes. So you use those credentials. These are specific to you, the ones that you report or you create within the Discovery portal. And then you log in and you can explore the different options. For example, in this case, we are going to focus on uploading no data model compliant datasets. And here, all the fields that are there are mandatory. So you have to create a name, you have to report the author of the dataset, and then the description, the general description of the dataset. This description is important because this is the way that all the researchers are going to access your dataset and to know what is in the dataset. After that, you upload the dataset. And you upload the dataset, selecting the local, let's say, the local file. And after, you also have to fill the license parameter. So you need to fill the license naming, the license URL, and then a text file with the license itself as well. Then you click on upload dataset. Well, you have to confirm this specific requirement, and then when you have a successful dataset uploading, you will receive this message, and also you are going to receive the dataset ID. This ID is going to be important afterwards for follow-up. You can recover and save this ID from here, but afterwards from the Discovery portal, it's also possible to recover this ID. So that's basically, let's say, the workflow on this specific tool. So what are the plans for upgrading the system and for future release and improvements? Right now, we are working in different debugging parts of the system, let's say. There are specific things that we already have feedback from the work package partners. We have the opportunity to do some testing, so we are trying to check all the requirements that they mentioned, and also during the plenary, there were some feedback. We are trying to have a list and follow up that list. But let's say the most important part of this feedback, of the release that we are planning, probably is on the Ray node deployments. The idea is to have the tool that I mentioned, that I just show you in all the nodes. Right now, it's only available for a Vicom node. So the idea is that soon we will also have it in the out and the UPM node. And then the other tool that we are working on is the Rayfinder availability. So the Rayfinder functionality. The Rayfinder is, let's say, an independent model. The idea is that you will have this tool in order to have a Ray ID and to check that Ray ID. Let's say registration. But I mean, we are not going to go in deep in this case, because I mean, the tool is to be released. It's just to mention that let's say it's going to be available soon, and that it is possible afterwards to do the traceability of the results. Something really important that I mentioned at the beginning, but I mention it again. If you can give us the feedback as well in the document that we made available at the beginning, please let us know any feedback. Afterwards, I also can will give you the contact information. If you have something specific that you want to report with us, it is also fine to do it that way. But I mean, this process is really important to have your feedback for improvement. Also, I don't know, Vicky, if you have any comments on the, let's say, new releases regarding the Discovery portal.
Well, I will demonstrate them later on after the hands-on session. I think this flow is better. So yes, I will just highlight that there are already in development some user interface updates with the feedback collected by you during the past weeks. But it will be released after this webinar session, just to be sure that everything on production is ready to receive this user interface updates, but I will demonstrate them from my local host machine after the hands-on session to see the differences, and also from the feedback that we will collect by you and from you today. Definitely we will integrate as more as possible improvements on the Discovery portal and the VITALISE system in general. It is really, really important, and thank you all so much for your time and availability on sharing your thoughts on that and help us make this system better. So yes, we can proceed, Francisco.
Okay, perfect. So now we are going to proceed to the hands-on session. I think probably the most interesting part of today's webinar. As we mentioned, the first step that you have to perform for sure is the registration to the system. So that's going to be the first part that we are going to discuss. And here again, I give the floor to Vicky to perform the registration. I don't know if you want maybe to share your screen so you can do it.
Of course, I'm
Hi.
sharing the link also to
Yeah.
the chat for everyone to have access easier. Give me a second in case it's not open to your computers. I'm trying to share my screen. Let me know. Okay. I believe now you can see my registration also form. Is that correct? Do you have?
Yeah.
Because I cannot see you. Okay. Let me know if you have any. You see my screen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if you click up to the right on the register button, you have access to the Virtual Access Application Toolkit. I need to highlight because I see many familiar faces in the participants list in this call. If you have already registered your organization and you have a personal user account in the system, please do not register again, or if you want to do this for practice, please try to and use a different username and email address. Otherwise, the system will block you not only from the discovery portal, but also from the security that is the security tool for user management that the VITALISE system is using. So it is important to create a whole new different account like you have never existed in the system before. That's why, because I have made many test accounts for the system, I'll try again and submit with you these fields to go through the registration phase together. So I will register a test organization. Again, if you have already done this, it's not mandatory. Okay. So the test organization URL and the test org address.
Although, just to comment something, well, the idea during this part of the webinar is that you also are doing, let's say, the same steps. And
Exactly.
if you have any doubts or any trouble with this part, please, this is the moment, let's say, that you can interrupt at any moment, so we can check with you that the processing is going well, or there is something to improve, or how to solve any issues that you are facing.
Exactly. Thank you, Francisco, for highlighting also this. Please try and interact with the system as much as possible. And if you identify any issues or concerns, please share with me and Francisco as well in order to improve them. Okay. And if you have filled and you are ready and sure that you have completed all the mandatory fields, you can click on the next button. If someone has any questions regarding this step, please feel free to ask me. The next step is easy. You have and must check all the eligibility criteria in order to proceed with your registration. So again, check all the boxes, be sure that you have checked them, and click next. Now, regarding the project description,
Just one question.
of course.
It seems that I'm being registered previously, but how did you change your information? If I go to my own page, I see the user profile, but I don't see
The
any place.
moment on the production profile, we are not allowing deletion or edit from your users through the user interface of the discovery portal. That's why I mentioned in the beginning, please try to register with a whole new account at the moment. Can you hear me? I'm not sure I heard.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah. So let's say this number of days, and again, check all the mandatory checkboxes. Click next, and give an organization password. I'll stay to this step for a second. And wait for you to be there with me. And in a moment, I will click the submit button. Of course, if you face any issues on your submission, feel free to take the floor or write on the chat or even on the Excel file your comments. So I'm clicking on submit, save, and if you have a successful submission, you will be redirected to the homepage of the Discovery portal. I am proceeding with the login to my account. Again, if you need anything, I'm not sure if we have any questions on the chat because I'm not having access to the Teams chat at the moment. Francisco, if something that I need to address or highlight, please let me know.
Can we add not the bug, but when you are saying that at least 80% of my research team works in the or associated program, but I think it's, let's say that the situations with teams might be changing. So you know that if you're committed right now, then it's the I just asking, you know, the.
I'm not sure.
I mean, there's a question that in the Welcome to VITALISE project Virtual Access Toolkit, and it says at least 80% of my research team works in the European Union or state associated to program. So, but the situations are changing with the teams. So it's just, you know, if I click this and the situation changes, what happens then?
This is something I am not the person responsible to answer, but it's an open question to the rest of the consortium. I think, let's say, somewhere else someone else from the consortium can answer this question. These were the requirements given for the Virtual Access Toolkit platform. So yeah, if someone knows the answer, please take the floor. So if you have a successful registration and then you are ready to log into your account, you can click on the login button up to the right corner of the web page of the Discovery portal. I have an autocomplete on my browser, and then I'm logging in with my, let's say, official user.
Vicky, can I ask you another question, please? This is Kim.
Hi, Kim. Yes, of course.
Hi. Yeah, I was already registered before, so I didn't go to the complete process, but maybe I missed it. But we were looking for a privacy statement because you're giving your personal data. And is there some link where there is mentioned what we are doing with those personal data, how it's going to be processed, etc.?
There is a terms and conditions, yes, page to have all the information to be GDPR compliant, but I can mention here that none of your personal information is stored on the Discovery portal database. They are stored in a user management system, and all this and the Discovery portal and this user management system have all the delete options available to retrieve, edit, or delete an account if necessary. So no permanent information can be stored anywhere in the system.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Yeah, no, just a comment because I mean I think Julia was asking Temo if he can repeat the question, but probably Julia also have a better, let's say, or a different.
Yes, exactly. Julia might be the
There was this question about all the team, 80% of the team members will be included in the member stage or as a part of the Horizon project. And my question is kind of because the situations between the teams are changing. So, what happens? Can you be changing the information? And also, by the way, I was now redoing the registration. You don't have any validation for the fields. It's I can put anything on for example, in the phone number. So you have to check those. And also when people are writing, let's say, male or man or whatever, it might be a good idea to have, the normal stuff that people have, like you're not typing the information because you will have a mess in the data.
Sorry. Hi, Teemu. So about the last comment you made about typing the information, I agree with you. Maybe we can change it, Vicky.
Sure. You can add this in the Excel of the updates for the system, and they can integrate it as you wish.
Okay, thank you. And maybe we can also add the answer. I don't want to share the gender. This is something
Sure.
that we should do. Okay, thank you.
But you can also add like a dash. But yes, I can make it a drop-down selection if you think it's better for user engagement. But yes, that's why
Okay.
I left it open, because everyone can write anything they need or they think.
Okay. About the team member, this is not as strict as it is for the transnational access. So the reason why we have team members is so we can easily declare more people. So we have one registration and with a team of 5 people, and we have 5 people registered. But we don't have any strict policy about the team member. So I don't think this is an issue.
Okay. And just another, I don't know, it's a bug or whatever. When I fill the information, it just goes quickly and it says save the password. I didn't add any password. It just flashes the page after I go further.
I think this is a browser issue. It fills your information, the previous stored information, easy. I can check if I can not allow this.
It's Chrome. I'm using Chrome.
Yes, my Firefox is doing the same, but
Yes.
it's auto
It will use
information.
yes.
Yeah.
It will use autocomplete and it will automatically set up the password that you have. This happened to me as well. But the recommendation here is when setting up a password, the best practice is to repeat password. To ask the user to repeat.
Yeah, I didn't have any chance because that flashes away.
Yes,
yes.
That's a very nice idea, Alejandro. Thank you. I will definitely add this as an improvement on the registration form.
Also, Vicky, some comments that there are in the chat. So Eniko had an issue for the register. So the comment is, the system says registration is unsuccessful, but it doesn't say why. Could you modify that in the future? He sent also the image. And regarding this, Rosa also state that I'm not sure if I was already registered. I don't have mine of it. Just in other tools such as the loop and the panel management tool, I couldn't register. So the same happened as with Eniko. Those are, I mean, let's say the comments regarding that specific topic. So I don't know, Eniko and Rosa, did you manage maybe to use, I'm guessing if they tried to use a different email, I guess?
Definitely, the suggestion is to use a different email address and a different username. I can check afterwards your accounts also to the user management system if you want me to delete them and re-register again. This is also an option, but I have to do this.
But is there, sorry, Vicky, is there
Yes,
any links among this tool and the other ones? Because I'm very sure I didn't register before in the Discovery portal, just in those two I mentioned. So
okay, no, there is no connection in the user management system of these tools.
Still, I will try with other email. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. But maybe you have registered again.
Yeah. Nico also said I use a different one. I use a different email, so it cannot be the issue. So
also, the username should be different too. But I can check your accounts later. Yes.
I'm sure I used a different one because I used fake data. So it would be nice if the system could give a feedback where my information went wrong. If you can resolve it, I don't know how difficult it is. Not now, of course, but in the future, because this could happen with anyone.
Sure. Thank you for your feedback. Yes, there were many test accounts and many registration steps across the development of the system. That's why too many of you things like that are happening, but I'm happy more to handle them all.
Yeah, sorry. So
it's important, this feedback.
Yeah, the email and the username cannot be an issue. But of course, I used some fake data, so maybe it didn't recognize the phone number, or I don't know. But it would be nice to know where I went wrong.
Yes, I can check on that later. You only tried to register a personal account, not many other people, because if you tried also to register teammates that have been re-registered before, this can also block the organization registration.
No, it's not the case. And I'm using Firefox for your information.
Thank you for this feedback.
I will try again after the, but I don't want to hold up the consortium with keep trying, so I'm just concentrating on what's happening. I will try to register afterwards again.
Thank you, Annika.
Also, there was another comment from Kurt that says you always have to make a privacy statement available and ask the user to approve it before an account can be created and information can be stored on some backend system. If there is any user management system in place, especially if it is an external solution, you also have to make the data processing agreement available between the owner of the portal collecting the data and the third-party user management system processing and storing this data. So, well, yeah.
I agree with you. This checkbox is already integrated in the next deployment of the system. But yes, thank you for highlighting this, Kurt. It's very important to highlight it.
Yeah, one question. Yeah, if you register just your team and you put, for example, 2 researchers, and then you have to modify, then adding more people, is possible, or you have to create a new team?
At the moment, it's not possible. You have to create a new team.
Okay.
But feel free to add this as an idea on the Excel file.
No, it's because I have created just for testing one with me, only with me, just to not compete all the researchers. But then that means that I have to create a new one if needed, just to add more people, no? Or just use my password for distribute this, or?
Yes. At the moment, it's not available for users, but you will have my personal information after this session, and you can keep my email and write me directly, so I can modify your accounts from the administration access I have. Rosa, I see your hand.
Yes, maybe the issue is with the part of organization's password, because I thought that was for me to decide a password, but maybe it's other thing.
I'm not sure that's a case. I think you can
It's
change your password.
By
As
the
you
so
way,
this is just for deciding a password, a personal password. Yes. Okay.
For all the members of the organization, but this is on your call.
by the way, in the system, can I have the same email in the multiple? You know, that typically like email is the thing, but if I have to be in the multiple teams, which is very common thing for the researchers to be in the multiple teams, and how the system handles that?
At the moment, you have to own a unique email address as a user in the system in order to identify you as one entity. But if you want this is something that we can, if we all agree to happen, I can allow this to happen, to be, let's say, not a unique field, the email address. It was as a requirement at the beginning, but if as a consortium we agree that this is a case, that some researcher might be a member of multiple teams and register with multiple accounts in the system, to allow a researcher to register with multiple accounts in the system, then I can make it non-unique field.
It doesn't matter how do you do it, but I think the feature that the research can be in the multiple teams has to be existing in the system. So I think that's a.
Thank you
Yeah.
for this thought. Yes. So, if we have concluded with brainstorming and troubleshooting with the registration, I assume most of you or all of you have access to the discovery page, and we can proceed with the discovery. If not, let me know.
Yeah, sorry, since I have another issue with the microphone now, it is okay? I mean, you hear me? Oh, sorry.
Yes, yes, Francisco, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. No, it's just I'm seeing also that Rosa mentioned something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the Rosa's message.
Okay.
We can have a few moments after the webinar, Rosa, if you want together to see what's
It
happening
will be
with
great. Thank you,
Jane.
Vicky.
Yes, in order for me also to get the proper feedback in case it's something that I have to check on backend. But yes, I'm
Okay.
happy to stay later.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share.
Oh, you want me to stop sharing? We'll
Yeah.
proceed with the dataset discovery. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So after you have already user register to Discovery portal, then the next step, let's say, for uploading a dataset from the point of view, of course, of a Living Lab or Living Lab data manager, is going to be uploading the data itself to the node that you are hosting or that you have access to in this case. So the first step is going to be to go to this link here. I'm going to send it to the chat as well, so it will be easier. Okay, so you enter that link, and afterwards it's going to ask you for general, let's say, credentials. Those credentials right now are related specifically to the node. So it's a general, let's say, registration. The user and password that you have to use is here. I mean, I'm going to, sorry, just to stop again, sorry. I'm going to send the data, so the credentials are easier for you to also to use. So the user is VITALIZE. Sorry. And I'm going to send a password as well. Okay. So try to enter. If you enter afterwards, you are going to see that the page is going to ask you for the specific user that you are just created. But let me know if the process is going well. I mean, if you actually can access and you can also use those credentials. Okay.
Vamos a ver. Vitalizer. A ver. Ay, joder.
Begoña, te estamos escuchando.
Qué fino me he quedado, ¿verdad?
Now it's asking
Qué bien.
again the username and password after you put that on the.
Okay.
It was the first prompting, the Chrome was prompting the, you know, the small password thing, and then it comes again there.
So, I mean, you are able to pass, let's say, the VITALIZE password, right? Or no?
Yeah, Dan. But
Okay.
after that, it comes username and password again as a
Yeah.
form in the.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's the right now. That's the workflow that is needed. So the second one, the first one is is only VITALIZE, and this is general one. So everybody's going to use the same. But the second one is specific to you. So here you are going to use the registered user that you just did in the Discovery portal.
But for example, I don't know what was it because it just went away. So I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I think Temo it will autocomplete this user.
no, it said for me
Perfect.
it says the use strong password.
But you can go to your password manager of the Chrome and look
Exactly.
for the VITALISE portal.it.gr entry, and that is your password.
What is the VITALISE?
Okay.
Francisco, this UI is only available in the Beacon Rhino.
Right now,
Right?
yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right now, yes. Because I mean, this was like the prototype. But
Okay.
now that we work on it, the idea is that we are going to release it as soon as possible. So hopefully by the end of January, all the array nodes, so UPM and out, are going to have it as well.
Of course, with all the integrated updates to the Discovery portal user interface too.
Yeah. So after, I mean, I'm going to go step by step with you together. So afterwards, you see this menu on the upper left part. Then the idea is that we are going to focus on the upload NDM datasets. So click on there, and you are going to be asked for the credentials that you just created in the Discovery portal. So you use the user, and you introduce your password, and you log in.
I was asked for the password, but not for the user. The user is the email?
No, the user. I mean, the user is you have to create a user in the Discovery portal, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I create a Discovery portal, but they only ask for a password, not for the user. I put the company or the company password, but not a user.
No, wait. So you are here.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
And you don't have username asked for you?
Yes, I have a username and a password, but I create when I enter the Discovery portal information, I was asked for a password, for the company password, but not for the username.
The
I
username is, you provide the username on the first user of the company. If you go to the register form, you'll see the username is part of the form for the first user. Yes.
I don't know.
When you
It's
put
not
the
easy.
details
This
of the
is not
first
easy at all.
participants.
This is
Yeah,
not easy at all.
the first field was for the username.
I'm
the
totally
second was
lost.
your
Sorry,
name, and then
I'm
was
totally lost. I'm totally lost. So I will just recheck everything. But I'm totally lost.
Okay. Wait, yeah, I don't know. Let us know. For the moment, I mean, I'm going to check some of the comments. It's just one from Kurt. You are talking about the two. I mean, we have to, let's say, two logins in that, because it was because we have, before we implement the key clock for the whole system, the one that is administered by the Discovery portal, we were protecting, let's say, the browser in a basic way. That's why the general authentication is there. Right now, it's just, I mean, we are using that as, let's say, a general prevention to use it, and we have to implement the new login within the let's say the tool. It was because it was necessary to communicate with the Discovery portal. That's why there are right now two of them. The idea is, of course, I mean, at some point we are going to get rid of the general one, so you can use the system only with your user and password. Right now, that's why it's this general step, but it was because it was previously done like this. But I mean, it's an improvement that we have to do for sure. And thank you for pointing this out.
Francisco, I'm sharing my thoughts also thinking out loud. It would be nice, since I understand the confusion right now that we're doing many registration and login steps to secure all personal data. It would be nice in the UI of each Rainode, in the login page, to have, let's say, a text description on which credentials a user needs to, in order to join the system through the Rainode UI. Because right now it just has a username and the password, and of course for us that we have seen the system many times, it's easy to remember. But I understand that people seeing first for the first time this UI also, they might need a better explanation. So I wasn't sure who had the problem earlier, but thank you for sharing your thought. I wasn't sure from the voice who was speaking, but yes.
Okay. If we are all here, so, well, hopefully.
Also, parenthesis, if someone needs any assistance with their user through the system, just drop a line here.
Yeah, I have stopped it. I can't do anything, so I have stopped it. I will just see. I'm totally lost. To be honest, for me, it's quite confused, everything. So I'm totally lost. So I will stop doing anything. Yeah.
We can help you to have access. We can go through this together and sharing your concerns. I will check on your user account in the user management system. Do you have access on the on the Slack of the VITALISE system?
I think so. I registered, I put a password, but not a user. So
okay, I will email you right now to see your account. Okay.
Okay, but to be honest, is continue. Don't stop for me. Yes, continue.
No, I just to be sure that we can address all issues, because this is something that might happen to other living lab researchers as well, and we need to make this experience safe but easy to everyone as possible, at least to this prototyping system. But yes, I will check on your account and help you on that.
Okay.
Francisco,
So,
you can proceed.
yeah.
Sorry about the parentheses.
No problem. Sorry. Okay. So here, as I mentioned before, first you need to fill the metadata, basically the name of the dataset that you are going to introduce. Right now, I mean, normally as we are doing testing, I just put something generic here just to be sure that I identify that is from Beacon, but I mean, please also identify a little bit. The idea is that as we are going to upload these datasets as a testing exercise, afterwards we are going to erase them. So put something that we can identify as a testing, so it's easier for us also to clean the system afterwards. And so the author name here, I'm just going to put something generic, and also here. Okay. Afterwards, it is necessary to select a data file. Here, there is a specific structure that it is necessary to follow. Here are the general, let's say, conditions for data structure. In this case, it's a CSV file, and there are three, like, let's say, main concerns on how these files should be. I mean, right now, as the idea is to identify, let's say, at least the steps and to follow up, I put available a dataset within the folder in Teams. So it's just a generic, let's say, dataset for all to use to make sure that it's going to go through. Afterwards, we can check the specific datasets that you have, because I mean, they need some pre-processing probably. So just to be sure that we can move forward, you can find here a general dataset, which is a CSV file, and then the license, which is a text file. I'm going to also send it to the chat so everybody can access them. Sorry. Then the idea is that you need to browse. Sorry. You browse on the file. I think it's, in this case, I need to download the files probably. Okay, so here we have the dataset that I just download. I select that dataset. Afterwards, the idea is to put the name of the license type. So, I mean, this is generic right now, so I'm just going to put CC for Creative Commons. But I mean, this is something that it is needed to be discussed when you actually upload a dataset. Here, I download as well the license. So the idea is to select that file, sorry. And with this, we are ready. We just need to check on, I confirm that the data file I'm uploading has been anonymized or is anonymized, anonymous, sorry. And then I click on upload the MDM dataset. As I mentioned before, if you are successful in this case, then you are going to receive a successful, let's say, message that says that is correctly uploaded, and also you have here the identification of that dataset that afterwards you are going to need or to use for the remote execution. So once we have this successful dataset upload, we can check it on the metadata catalog of the Discovery portal. But I mean, before moving forward to the next step, just ask if you can confirm that you are able to see this successful update or upload of the dataset, or if you have any issues during this process.
So I would be expecting kind of an adding the file at the same time when I do the registration, because that's a bit confusing. I know, yeah, it's registered, but it could be. Does it mean that you can have on the same registration you can have multiple data sets?
Right now, I mean, what do you mean? You mean registration when you are uploading a dataset?
No, when I'm this registered dataset page, it gives me name of the author and whatever registered dataset, but there's no place to add the file.
No, but I mean, wait. It's just you are doing the registered dataset, right?
Yeah.
No. I mean, we are not using that functionality. The idea is that you go directly to upload NDM dataset.
Okay, but what is this registered dataset? What is that?
That is another functionality that is needed for the anonymized and synthetic dataset. Those datasets need to be, let's say, VITALISE model compliant. So as right now, we are, let's say, focusing on the non-data model compliant. So that's why we are not using those functionalities. So right now, what we need to do is to focus on the upload NDM datasets only.
Yeah. And then what we expect that to be the most common feature, I think the menu on the left should be in that order.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand that. It's just, I mean, at the beginning, that's why, let's say conceptually, at the beginning, the most important workflows were the other two. This was at the end. That's why we put it there. But yeah, I mean, it's a good.
And also,
yeah.
Also, me as a user, registered dataset, what does it mean? I don't understand that. You know, it has to be. What is the difference between the upload data points, upload NDM dataset, registered dataset? So
because I mean, the idea is this one. I mean, with the other two workflows, you register a dataset. That dataset afterwards, you can upload points to that specific datasets. This is data compliant, of course. So you upload points to that dataset. But afterwards, let's say you generate more points to that dataset, and you want to update that dataset with more points. So you already have the registration of that dataset. So you use that ID to upload different points. So you can upload points in different times, let's say. So
I'm just thinking about this from the new user point of view. Maybe kind of some visualization or whatever in the front page, because now I'm a bit confused at what I actually need to do. And still the task is quite simple in a way, but still it's a bit confusing. I don't understand the concept when I come here as a new user.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, let's say that's part also what we wanted to check with you, because I mean, at the end, sometimes as we are used to the system, we lose some perspective. So that's why it's great that you also have that.
Maybe, for example, you will have like the front page is like you have these three options, lots of boxes, and below that is like a short descriptions, you know, these are the alternatives. Do you want to do this, or like, do you want to buy a car, or do you want to book a hotel, book a flight, or rent a car?
Yeah,
those I understand quite easily, and you know that, and then maybe similar, you know, the explanation or something like that to make it more clear for me as a new user.
No, that's a great add to the system. So yeah, thank you for the feedback, and well, hopefully, I mean, we can also include that and make the menu a little bit more, let's say, user friendly, as you mentioned. Yes. Okay. Also, I saw that seems like Kim also had an error uploading the data set, and it seems it's regarding the getaway time. So maybe there is an issue communicating, but I mean, we have to check this, because I mean that error could be super specific, so it's difficult to let's say to check it right now. But Kim, just to be sure that you download the dataset that was available.
Yes. Yes,
okay.
I have downloaded the dataset, but I've probably waited too long, and now I've logged in again, and I'm trying again, but still it gives some errors.
Okay.
Unprocessable entity is now the thing
okay.
that I get now, but previously it was another error.
No, because if it is unprocessable entity, it might be something regarding the structure of the file.
Yeah, but this is where my fourth attempt to download.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. So.
And now it has another, because now it's going through, because it takes quite some time to make an attempt to upload the data. And now I have a third type of error message. There has been an error while trying to upload the NDM data set. So it's very general.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what went wrong.
Yeah. No. I mean, it could be something regarding the structure or maybe the timing. But okay, we can maybe check with you afterwards, and then we can find a solution. Could be also something related to your local, let's say, machine. But I mean, afterwards we can check it. But you are able to access this part, right? Because afterwards, I mean, when we explore the Discovery portal, we can check the other data sets at least. So at least to check the other ones and see afterwards what could be the issue.
Yeah. So, by the way, one question: in the CSV files, you are using commas as a separator.
Yep.
If you have text data and you have the comma, could that be anything else? Because I have been using some CSV files from some other data places, and when you are, the commas are a bit problematic, or the like.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just a reminder that they maybe using like, what is the where you have dot and the what is, I don't know what is that mark's name, the
yeah. I mean, let's say, especially because I mean, you can, in theory, you can upload a lot of things. The thing is, if you want some descriptive statistics, for example, for the datasets, that's where we need to give some structure, because otherwise it was almost impossible for the metadata to be calculated. So that's why we give some structure and some specific steps to prepare the datasets before you upload it. So
yeah, like
yeah,
semicolon was the thing that I was thinking about as a separate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, we can check it. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I have to leave. Sorry. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Okay. So we can go again to the Discovery portal.
Francisco, you need me to take the lead, or do you want to share the screen of the Discovery portal on your end?
On
the data discovery, what do you prefer?
No, I mean, we can do it here, I think.
Okay. Just because I saw.
Exactly. So it's easier. So you go again to the Discovery portal, And then in here, instead of going to registration to register, you check you click on login. And with your credentials, you enter the system. You log in. And here you go to, you click on discover. So here up. And then you also apply a filter. So you click on non-data model compliant. The filter is on your left, and it's the last filter. So click there, select that option, and probably your dataset or the dataset that you just upload is going to be on the bottom part. So here are the different datasets that were uploaded. So to check on these ones, if you want to check, for example, what is inside, you click on go to dataset on the one that you want to select, click there. And then you can see some of the descriptive, let's say, descriptive values on the columns and the general information that you can obtain from the dataset. If you want to access this dataset, then you click on request dataset. Right now, you can do it even if it is not the dataset that you upload. You can just click on a general dataset. Please try to do it in the last datasets that we create, so we make sure that we can access them. So you are going to have a download file with the information of the dataset there. Just a minute, just taking a little bit to show. And I'm sorry. So here you download a zip folder, and if you access that zip folder, you're going to see that within the folder there are 3 files. You have the actual dataset in CSV format. So here up, then you have the license in text as a text file, and then you have this info JSON. And within the info JSON, you have different information regarding the dataset. So the dataset ID, timestamps, the name, the description, and also, let's say, the licensing name and the licensing URL. So that's part of the information that you will need afterwards as well. So you keep it, let's say, in a safe space. I'm just going to extract it. So afterwards, I can access the files. And there we have it. So let's say locally we develop our algorithm. We process the entity, we process the data file that we need. We create an algorithm, and then we prepare that. Right now we only support Python scripts. So just to make sure that we are on the same page. So you can develop your Python script based on the dataset that you download. And when you are, let's say, fine with your results, you can check within the Discovery portal the option of experiment run in the upper menu. Here you click on experiment run. And this is a new window that you can explore. So the first part is going to be downloading the experiment template files. Here there is an example of those files that you need to do a remote execution of your script. So you click on that button and you are going to have also a zip folder. Let's extract as well that zip folder locally. And within that zip folder, you are going to see 3 files. So those 3 files are the ones that you are going to need to run an experiment remotely. The ones that you really need to modify are the experiment configuration file. So the first one, and the second one, my experiment. My experiment is basically your code. The Python code that you create is going to be located in this file. But in experiment configuration, let's open this one to check what is there. So in here, you see that there are 3 specific, let's say, variables that you need to check. The first and the third, you don't need to change it, but you need to change the second one, the one that says hash query real. This is basically the dataset ID that you obtained before. But how you can go back and check this one, this is specific, let's say, dataset ID. Remember that when you download your dataset, inside the folder, there were 3 files. One of them was the info.json. So you open that info.json. And in here, you are going to see this dataset ID. Sorry, so there is a lag. So this is the dataset ID that you need to copy. And then you return to your experiment configuration file. And then you define this dataset, this hash query real with the dataset ID that you just copy. And you save it. Okay. Just to be sure, I don't know if there was some questions. Sorry. If you have some doubts for the moment, or if we are for the moment, I mean, going well. Okay. If there are no questions, I will go through it. So in here, as I mentioned, right now, the datasets that we saved before were saved in the BeaconTech node. So here, when you select the Ray node, you need to select the BeaconTech one, because that's the dataset. I mean, if you're using the dataset that was just saved in the step before, that's where it's going to be located. So you select that from the drop-down menu. Afterwards, you need to select the 3 files that I mentioned before that you download here and you prepare. So first, you identify where are those datasets located in your system. Oh, sorry. Okay. in the folder, as I mentioned, there are three dataset ones. Here we are going just to use the example of the Python code there. So I'm going to select the Python code for the first file. Then I'm going to select the experiment configuration that I just modify with the hash query real or the dataset ID and select it here. And then requirements. And I select that file. Then afterwards, I click on Run Experiment. And when I do that, I'm going to automatically be sent to my user profile. So in this user profile, where is my run experiment dataset? Let's say the one that I just run. I go to this experiment history. And probably is going to be on the bottom part of that session, let's say, of the profile. And here I can see that there is one in process. It's at the BeaconTech Ray node, so probably is the one that I'm waiting for. So after this is going to take a while, so so we don't have to wait that much. So afterwards, what I'm going to see is basically a result button and a registration results button. If I click on result button, for example, from the results that I already have, there is going to be a download here in my system locally, and I can check what is in there, and it's basically the results of the experiment that I just run remotely. So I can open it, and this is a text file. And then I can register my results if I'm happy with them. And then when the register is successful, I'm going to see here a check mark. And I'm going to be sure that those registrations are, let's say, fine. And that's basically how you run, let's say, an experiment remotely. I'm going to go back to the presentation. Okay, this is what we just did. I just want to make sure that you also know that there is a step-by-step presentation for you to check also, even if it is offline. And each of the slides, they also show the step-by-step process that we just did. Okay. Sorry, I'm not sure what is taking a little bit when I do the transitions. Okay. So that was the last part of the hands-on, let's say. And what we wanted also to do, I think we have already a lot of good feedback from you, and from the user perspective, this is something that we also need, because afterwards, we have a bias, let's say, vision on the system, and it's good that you also have, from the external point of view and from the user point of view, that you correct and you point out things that maybe are not in the correct place or that need to be improved. So this is the part also that, if you have any live comments, if you can also do the comments on the participation follow-up Excel that we share, please let us know. And the idea is that we also are going to be available for anything you need from us, from the technical perspective, and to check how we can improve the system. And also, if you have interest to share some data sets within the Ray notes that are available, please also contact us and let us know. We can check how to do it and how to prepare, let's say, the data sets for this purpose. I don't know if you have any questions or comments right now. I read Eniko. Yes, we are going. I mean, all the presentation, this presentation, and the videos, and also some of the data are available in Teams. So my idea is that after we are going to organize some additional, let's say, material together with this one, and then we are going to send you to you communication. That's why we also wanted for you to fill the registration, the participation Excel, so we can also send you this specific material and you can access anytime. Right now, it's also available in the Teams folder. So there we have the videos and the presentation and also some examples. So everything is going to be available for you. Sorry. Okay. I don't know if there is any additional comment or, yep, you're welcome. And thank you also for being here and participating. I don't know if there is any additional comment on this regard. Okay, no, thank you for being here. Just the last part, sorry. It's just, oh, sorry, it's just, I'm going to Vicky, maybe you can.
Yes, thank you,
present.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just,
Rosa, I will wait for you here after this meeting, and we can either jump into another meeting tool, or we can stay here and review your account together. I'm also replying to some of your emails. Thank you all for sharing your feedback. Again, it's very crucial and very important for us to have many eyes on the system so we can make it as easy to use and accessible for everyone as possible. Now, I'm going to share a few very minor UI improvements, but with the feedback that we will collect from your participation today, we will definitely include more in the next days. So I will try to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my window. And I think here we are. So yeah. So this is the Discovery Portal discovery page at the moment. And as I understand, I'm already logged out. It's past 1 hour since I was logged in from my local host machine. Sorry, this is another user, an old one. So yeah, this is a local implementation. These datasets do not exist, and their metadata, they're dummy ones, but I wanted to highlight because we demonstrated and we were focused on the non-data model compliant datasets, but the magic for my end of this system is how to request anonymized and synthetic data across the VITALISE platform. So in order to make this experience better, and you will have access on these features within the next 2 days, we added more filtering options in physiological monitoring, movement, and biometrics to make the selection of metadata for synthetic data let's say easier and more specific for researchers. And also in the NDM and in the other datasets, we have included more information regarding the license. There will be also a few more descriptive information with visualization in the metadata section. And In the non-data model compliant page, we will also have the author and license fields in the user interface preview, as long as with any other information you might think would be easier to highlight or demonstrate in the user interface. A few, again, touches that we were discussing that are crucial to be included in the Discovery Portal UI, as long as with the feedback of some of mentions and messages across the registration, the virtual access registration process. Sorry, I'm hearing myself test from someone. Okay, thank you. So that was a closing feedback from my end too. So yes.
Yes. Yeah. No. It's just I was trying to make sure I proved the velocity of the presentation because I don't know what was going on. So just the last part is regarding the participation in the virtual access dataset, virtual access to the datasets. So do you see the screen or? Oh no.
Yes,
Yes,
Francisco.
Okay, perfect. Okay. No, that's good. I don't see. Do you see my? I mean, I'm sharing my screen or?
We see the presentation,
Perfect. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
virtual access to the
I don't see it.
dataset.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't see it. So. Okay. So you can access this let's say call here in the virtual access for dataset VITALISE project. Here, I mean, this is the website to apply. The idea is you can apply to the VITALISE Discovery portal, register, and interact with the system. Then you can submit your experience to this. You can submit an abstract on your experience on how you interact with the system. The conditions of this abstract are also in the web page, and after you can send it to the email listed here, and you can participate in the final meeting in Brussels. So that's something interesting to consider as well, and you can promote within your institutions. In this regard, the deadline for that for the submission is January 26th. I mean, there is still some days to go, and it will be interesting also to see your. I mean, if you have any experience, even if it is a feedback on how to improve, that will be great. As I mentioned before, this presentation is going to be available, so you can access the web page for the submission and for the call, and to get the templates for participating also there. Well, finally, just some remarks. As we mentioned, the system debugging and improvement is still continue. Hopefully, we will have some improvements soon, and the system is going to run better, way better than it is now implemented. Also, please let us know if you have any datasets to share. As Alejandro mentioned before, it is important also to participate. And also, if you are interested in hosting array node, that will be an interesting possibility. So let us know, and we are going to be attentive to that. Here I leave you some contact information. If you have any questions and feedback regarding the Discovery portal, Vicky can tell you a lot of things and help you with many things regarding that part. If you have any doubts regarding the array nodes, you can contact me as well, and reporting or exploring the possibility to uploading datasets. Also, Alejandro will be attentive to that. So, well, thank you very much for your participation and for your feedback, and to be here today. I know it's not easy, it's a difficult starting of the year, but well, hopefully it was useful and interesting to you. It was definitely something really interesting for us, And thank you very much for being here today. And well, I think if you have any comments, please let us know, or otherwise we can close the webinar. And before, thank you all. Also, thank you, Vicky, for the help and preparation, and to all the partners from the Work Package 3 that were also working a lot towards this webinar. And well, thank you, everybody. And well, hopefully we will have a good end of the project. I don't know if Vicky also wants to say something.
Just to thank you all again from my end too. Thank you for your feedback and for your participation.
Thank
Let's
you,
co-create this
everyone.
together.
Thank you. Bye bye.